Sow these 10 hardy crops this October for a winter harvest. Hello friends, and welcome back to Earthly Delights. If you found your way here, chances are you're someone who feels most alive with your hands in the soil, who loves the quiet joy of watching something green unfurl in the corner of a windowsill, or who treasures stepping into your backyard and finding it transformed by your care. Maybe you've struggled with short days, frost creeping in, or the nagging thought that October means the garden season is over. But here's the secret season growers know. October is not an ending, it's a doorway. This is the month where the wise gardener plants for tomorrow, sowing crops hardy enough to thrive through the cold and reward you when the days feel darkest. In today's journey together, we'll uncover 10 resilient crops that don't just survive October. They flourish, carrying you into winter with harvests of food, beauty, and life. Whether you're an experienced grower with a polytunnel, a balcony gardener in the city, or someone just beginning to grow salads on a kitchen shelf, this guide is for you. So settle in, because what you plant today could be the taste of hope on your plate in the heart of winter. If you love this kind of content and want to keep your garden thriving in every season, make sure to subscribe to Earthly Delights and join our growing community of plant lovers. Part 1. Garlic and elephant garlic. Plant once, harvest big. When you think of October, you might imagine leaves falling, gardens winding down, and the soil going to sleep. But for those of us who have spent years nurturing green life through the seasons, this is the perfect time to begin one of the most rewarding plantings of the year. Garlic and elephant garlic. These crops are legendary for their toughness. You tuck them into the cool earth now, and while the rest of the garden rests, they quietly set roots beneath the surface. By January, just when you're yearning for signs of life, you'll see their green shoots poking bravely through frost and even snow, whispering that spring is on its way. Elephant garlic, with its almost comically large cloves, is technically closer to a leek, yet it carries the same magic of resilience and abundance. Both garlic and elephant garlic reward your patience with a harvest in early summer, filling your kitchen with bulbs that smell and taste like the very essence of the garden. And for those of you with only a small balcony or even just pots on a sunny doorstep, don't be discouraged. Garlic thrives in containers too. Imagine the pride of pulling up your own bulbs next June, knowing they endured the winter with you. So as we step into October, remember, garlic isn't just a crop, it's a promise. A promise that what you sow now will carry you through the long nights and deliver a harvest worth waiting for. And this is only the beginning of what October has in store. Part 2, broad beans and field beans. Winter's protein. Powerhouses. As we move deeper into the October garden, let's talk about a crop that not only survives the cold, but thrives in it. Broad beans and their humble cousins, field beans. These are the quiet heroes of the winter season, standing strong when many other plants retreat. When you sow them now, either directly into the soil or in modules tucked under shelter, you're preparing for one of the earliest and most satisfying harvests of the new year. Picture this. While others are waiting for spring to return, you're already picking tender green pods, enjoying a taste of fresh produce long before the abundance of summer. Broad beans, especially the Aqua Dulce Claudia variety, are built for resilience. And if you're gardening in a smaller space, field beans are a fantastic alternative, growing compact yet producing generously. Some gardeners even use them as green manure, enriching the soil while still offering edible leaves and pods. A true double blessing. The beauty of sowing these beans in October is that they bridge the gap known as the hungry gap, that tricky time in early spring when harvests are lean. Instead of relying on store-bought vegetables, your garden is already giving back. For balcony growers or those with only a cold frame or polytunnel, these beans fit beautifully into your setup. Imagine stepping outside on a crisp March morning and seeing rows of sturdy bean plants ready to reward your patience. They remind us that even in the leanest times, life continues. And with a little foresight, we can share in its generosity. This is the quiet power of October sowing. It creates abundance when we least expect it. Part 3, hardy peas, a taste of summer in early spring. Now let's turn to a crop that carries a touch of summer's sweetness into the chill of the new year. Peas. At first, it may feel odd to sow peas in October, when the air is crisp and the days are shortening. But this is exactly when certain hardy varieties, like Meteor, begin their quiet journey. Tucked into modules indoors or kept safe in a cool frame, these peas start to root and prepare for the months ahead. They bide their time patiently, waiting for the moment when light returns, and then they surge forward, promising one of the earliest and most beloved harvests you'll enjoy. Think about how it feels when winter seems endless. Gray skies, bare branches, and the longing for something fresh. Now imagine stepping into your garden or greenhouse and seeing vibrant pea shoots ready to climb, already holding the promise of crisp green pods. By the time spring settles in, you could be harvesting peas weeks before others are even sowing theirs. It's like borrowing a piece of summer ahead of schedule, a reward for your foresight in October. For those with small balconies or indoor grow lights, peas can be started in pots just as easily, later transferred to larger containers or outdoor beds as the weather softens. The first bite of a homegrown pea in early spring is more than just food. It's hope, renewal, and the reminder that gardening is about anticipation as much as harvest. So as your garlic and beans take root this season, let peas join them, carrying you into the brighter days with a sweet taste of what's to come. Part 4, Sweet Peas, Fragrance and Color. Through the cold, while hardy peas bring food to your table, their ornamental cousins, the sweet peas, bring beauty and fragrance to your soul. Planting sweet peas in October may feel like a leap of faith, but for those of us who've done it, the payoff is magical. Picture saving seeds from last summer's blooms, tucking them gently into soil-filled trays, or even an old tin, and then watching them sprout into slender green stems as winter wears on. They might be small and quiet at first, but given time and patience, they'll transform into climbing cascades of color and scent that announce spring with joy. Sweet peas aren't edible, but their value is every bit as real. For gardeners who crave brightness when days grow short, these flowers provide hope. They remind us that gardening isn't only about sustenance, it's about nourishment of the spirit too. Starting them in October gives them a head start, so when you transplant them in spring, they burst into life with more vigor, rewarding you with weeks of blooms. Even if your garden is no more than a balcony railing or a modest trellis by the door, sweet peas can find a place. Imagine opening your window in June to their perfume drifting inside, a living reminder of the quiet work you began months earlier. In a way, sweet peas are like a promise written in petals. A promise that beauty can be grown even in the coldest times, as long as we are willing to prepare for it now. Part 5, Calendula. Sunshine blooms you can eat. As we leave behind the sweet fragrance of peas, let's step into the cheerful brightness of calendula, often called pot marigold. Few plants bring such a splash of sunshine to a cold season garden. Sowing calendula in October may seem like a small act, but it creates waves of benefit. By the time early spring arrives, when pollinators are hungry and color is scarce, calendula is already there, glowing with fiery orange and golden petals that lift the spirit. For you, the gardener, it's not just a flower to admire, it's also an edible delight. The petals can be scattered across winter salads, adding both color and a subtle peppery taste. The young leaves, tender and green, can also be eaten, reminding us that beauty and nourishment often go hand in hand. What makes calendula special is its generosity. Once sown, it often self-seeds year after year, filling unexpected corners of the garden with brightness. If you're sowing now, try placing a few seeds in small pots or trays, then move them into your greenhouse, polytunnel, or even a sunny windowsill. By February or March, you'll already have hardy little plants ready to harden off and set outside. For those who garden in containers, calendula thrives just as happily in pots, offering flowers that can be cut and brought to your kitchen table long before summer arrives. In its own way, calendula is a healer, not only of soil and pollinators, but of our hearts during the dim months of the year. Part 6, Mustards and Spicy Greens. Adding heat to winter salads. From the golden glow of calendula, let's move to something that adds fire to your plate even on the coldest days, mustards and spicy greens. October is a perfect time to sow these leafy powerhouses, and the beauty of them is their speed. Within just a few weeks, you can be snipping fresh leaves that carry flavors ranging from gentle pepper to bold heat, flavors that wake up any winter dish. For those who love variety, Oriental mixes and spicy blends bring together mustards, mizuna, tatsoi, and other greens, offering an endless supply of textures and tastes. If you're someone working with limited space, these greens are your allies. You can scatter the seeds in trays, mushroom crates, or window boxes, and they'll thrive indoors or in small greenhouses. Even a cold frame in the garden will protect them enough to keep producing through the frost. A small handful of mustard leaves in December, grown right on your windowsill, can feel like a small miracle. And here's a little trick seasoned growers know. Mustard seed sold as green manure is inexpensive and abundant, making it one of the easiest and most economical ways to grow fresh salads in the off-season. These spicy greens are not just food, they're energy for your body and spirit when the days are short. They remind you that gardening isn't only about waiting for summer abundance. It's about savoring life's little harvests right when you need them most. Part 7. Winter lettuce and spinach, everyday essentials. After the spice and boldness of mustard greens, we turn to something gentler, yet just as vital: winter lettuce and spinach. These are the everyday essentials of a cold season garden, the steady companions that never let you down. Sowing them in October is like setting up a quiet pantry of greens that will see you through the darker months. Their resilience is remarkable. With just a little shelter from a polytunnel, a cold frame, or even a few pots tucked close to the house, they keep growing steadily, offering you crisp leaves long after most crops have vanished. Spinach in particular carries a kind of strength. It shrugs off cold nights and continues to produce, its leaves rich and nourishing. Winter lettuces, meanwhile, offer a softer crunch and come in varieties that are bred to withstand frost. For new gardeners, these are confidence builders. They forgive mistakes and reward even the most modest efforts. And for seasoned growers, they're reliable workhorses, always ready to fill a salad bowl or sandwich with freshness. Imagine stepping outside on a frosty morning, brushing aside the cover of a cloche, and finding bright green leaves waiting for you. It's a reminder that even in the quiet of winter, life goes on and nourishment is close at hand. Lettuce and spinach don't just feed the body. They reassure the gardener's heart that the rhythm of growth continues, no matter how cold the season may feel. Part 8. Corn salad, the gentle winter green. From the steady strength of spinach and lettuce, let's move towards something softer, almost overlooked, yet deeply rewarding: corn salad, also known as lamb's lettuce. This little plant may not shout for attention, but it has a quiet charm that makes it a treasure in any October sowing. Its leaves are tender, mild, and nutty, perfect for salads when other greens are scarce. Best of all, it thrives in the cooler months, asking for very little, but giving generously in return. Corn salad has a gift for growing where other crops might struggle. It does well in partial shade, in small patches of soil, or even in pots on a balcony. For gardeners with limited space or less than perfect conditions, it is an easy win, a reminder that abundance can come from the simplest efforts. Once established, it often self-seeds, slipping back into your garden year after year as though it chose you as much as you chose it. Picture yourself in late winter, when daylight is short and the longing for freshness is strongest, harvesting handfuls of these gentle greens to bring to your table. There's something deeply comforting about it. A plant that asks for so little, yet gives back with every soft leaf. Corn salad is a lesson in quiet resilience, showing us that even the smallest crops can provide nourishment and joy when the world outside seems dormant. Part 9. Claytonia, the winter survivor. From the gentle nature of corn salad, we now arrive at a plant that seems almost designed for the coldest months: Claytonia, also known as miner's lettuce. This unassuming little green has an extraordinary gift. It thrives when many other crops surrender to frost. Sow it in October, and by winter it will be quietly weaving itself through your beds, filling empty spaces with a carpet of tender, succulent leaves. Its round foliage, often holding tiny white flowers, is not only beautiful but also delicious, mild, refreshing, and perfect for salads when variety is scarce. Claytonia is the kind of crop that feels like a friend in winter. It doesn't demand much, no constant tending, no special care. In fact, it often self-seeds and returns on its own, slipping into corners of your garden or around other crops like leeks, acting as both a ground cover and a food source. There's a kind of magic in stepping outside on a frosty morning and finding it thriving there, untouched by the cold, as if whispering that resilience is possible even in the hardest of times. For indoor growers or those with small spaces, Claytonia adapts beautifully to containers, producing an ongoing supply of greens for the kitchen. It is humble, yes, but it carries a message every gardener can take to heart: that life persists quietly and steadily if we give it the chance. In its simplicity, Claytonia embodies the soul of winter gardening, strength, renewal, and nourishment in the most unexpected places. Part 10, Compost and Soil Prep, the foundation of every harvest. And now, as we round out our October sowing journey, we arrive at something that may not be a crop in itself, yet is the heartbeat of every thriving garden: compost. While the days grow shorter and the last lawn cuttings mix with the fallen autumn leaves, October becomes the perfect time to build the foundation for next year's abundance. Composting is more than a chore. It's the alchemy that turns waste into life. Every peel from your kitchen, every raked leaf, every wilted stalk can become nourishment for the soil, feeding the garlic, beans, peas, and greens you've planted this month. For those just starting out, compost might feel intimidating. Worries about smell, pests, or balance. But here's the truth. Nature already knows how to transform decay into fertility. All we do as gardeners is join the process, guiding it with a little patience. Even if you have only a balcony, a small compost bin or worm tower can provide rich, living soil for your pots and planters. And if you're working with a backyard, autumn's bounty of leaves is a gift you'll thank yourself for come spring. Compost is the quiet partner in every harvest, the unseen hand that ensures resilience, flavor, and vitality in your crops. By tending to it now, you're not just preparing for winter. You're building the energy that will carry your garden into another year of growth. It is here, in the humble act of composting, that the cycle of gardening comes full circle, reminding us that nothing is wasted and everything has a place in the rhythm of the earth. The winter gardener's secret. So here we are, standing at the close of October's journey, surrounded by the promise of garlic pushing through frosty soil, beans quietly preparing their roots, peas waiting to climb, and tender greens ready to brighten winter plates. What might have seemed like the end of the gardening year is, in truth, a new beginning. By sowing these hardy crops now, you've done more than plant seeds. You've planted resilience, color, and nourishment for the colder days ahead. And that's the secret every winter gardener eventually discovers. The garden never truly sleeps. It changes rhythm, yes, but it continues to offer life to those who dare to care for it. Even the smallest act, like sprinkling mustard seeds in a tray or tucking a clove of garlic into the soil, can ripple forward into meals, scents, and moments of beauty when you need them most. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Which of these 10 hardy crops will you be sowing this October? Do you already have a favorite winter green, or are you excited to try something new, like Claytonia or corn salad? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Our community of growers learns so much from each other. And if this journey has inspired you, don't forget to subscribe to Earthly Delights. Together, we'll keep finding ways to nurture life, beauty, and abundance in every season, no matter how cold the days may grow.